life can be like a roller coaster. Not necessarily, but it can be, which means
Without a doubt, it can.
and it's easier said than done to not let the money knock us around. Like we're feeling on top of the world when there's plenty of it, but
Yeah,
it's tricky when if it goes away, then people get very upset.
very sad and emotional.
Yeah, but so the wise man though, he doesn't get shook up like that. He just sees that he can.
Actually, I just got this book about it. I just started reading it about a week ago.
Oh yeah, that's popular. That one, that's a bestseller.
Yeah, so I've been reading it, and it's kind of already changed my mindset of kind of like how money is.
I've added lessons into CFIRE about that book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So you
Yeah.
can actually use the AI to when you have questions about that, you can ask the AI, the CFIRE,
The Z-Fire bot.
the ZFire. Yeah, yeah, the AI bot. You can,
Yeah, I was messing around with the Z-Fire bot earlier today, and it's legit. I like it a lot.
that's awesome, man. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to keep on making it better and better, but it's definitely legit, right? It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
It's
descriptive about everything, like very thorough about. Because I asked and I was like, because I was just running through C-Fire. I'm still learning everything about it. Like I'm still trying to, mess around a little bit with it. And I was like, I'm gonna just ask C-Fire bot. And I was like, how do I make money with crypto? And it gave me like all the different ways, like liquidity pools and, um, holding, day trading, like all the other things. And I'm like, okay. And they like gave me each step on like how to start. So it was right now I'm studying liquidity pools. I want to get into that. So I've been studying that through C-Fire. So we're gonna see where that goes. But
awesome. Does it feel like you've got that like AI there to kind of like hold your hand, the ZFire bot? Does it feel like you've got something you can when you get
yeah,
stuck?
like if I'm like sometimes like I'll be reading something in C-Fire because like there's a lot of content. So like I'm still in the beginning. So like I'll read something and I kind of don't understand it, and I'll just ask the bot like, can you explain it a little bit better? Yeah, because I know that especially like beginners, like people that don't know anything about this, like there's certain terminologies like they probably like, what does that mean? So like you can even ask it, what does this mean?
Wow, wow, very cool. Yeah, I
It's just
totally.
on your screen. So if you have any issue, just ask it and it'll help you.
For the full launch of the CFire banking system, our lessons in the back end, and most importantly, the AI, the super brain, the ZFire bot, is there to help everybody. Is that right, Jordan? How's that bot working? What's that like for you?
The Z-Fire bot is fire. Like like I was saying, like even earlier, like I was reading through education and stuff, and I was like learning, obviously going through the different lessons, and there was like I would say like some terminologies or like words that I was stuck on, and I just went over the bot and was like, hey, what does this mean? The bot explained everything, like what it meant, and broke it down. Because like I said, like there could be people that don't know anything about crypto, and then they'll get on C-Fire and start reading through some of the education, and they're like, what are these words or what do these mean? And the Z-Fire bot can help them. So I just typed in like, hey, what does this word mean? Can you break it down for me? And it did exactly what I asked it to do. So the Z-Fire bot is for sure where it's at.
Awesome, man. Let's actually just let's just jump in. Actually, this is the homepage, everybody. CryptoIsFIRE.ai, and that's why it's called .ai, because the AI is the pointy end of the spear. It's what opens up and gives you all the access to the gold, so to speak. And even on the homepage here, you can see there's a video here that's it's about 18 minutes, and it walks you through the back end. You can see how it works, these kind of lessons, and shows you how you can start earning this kind of incredible yield, which like starts turning your couple of $1,000s into potentially through DeFi systems into looks like even tens of thousands, compounding daily. So that's what we're really about here. But let's walk you through what Jordan was just talking about. Let's click the login. Just going to show you what happens when we log in. Here we go. And so everybody who registers, you can actually even get started, obviously, at the even at the free level. But what we have here tonight, this gets you in. This is the ignition level. This is kind of like almost like the minimum that we'd love you to join at. This is where you start, where the rubber hits the road, and you start learning to earn those kind of juicy DeFi yields, that daily passive income. Jordan, would you say that's one of the most exciting things, Jordan?
Yep.
Yeah.
that is very exciting. Like I went through the income lesson, and I was reading through it, and there was like there was this thing, liquidity pools. I've been studying that a lot. Like I went to the ZFire bot and I asked it what exactly is like a liquidity pool, how do you use them? It basically just explained what it was. Basically, you're making money off of fees that traders between when they're trading two different coins or assets, you basically make money off of that. So I've been studying that recently. So the ZFire bot, I mean, without the ZFire bot, I probably wouldn't understand as much as I do now. But yes, that's where it's at.
See, this is actually in the back end here. This is what happens when you log in as a member, and you get to drill in, and that's what Jordan's been doing. He's been going through here and going through like these Web3 DeFi lessons, and underneath, is that right, Jordan? Like down here?
Yep. That's the ones I was on today.
Yeah, and learning about like these liquidity pools and what that actually means, what that's about, and I mean some of this stuff, yeah, like it probably is complex. And Jordan, you were saying that what were the lessons? Would you say they were actually straightforward enough? But what was the difference that actually made you really click and get it?
They were straightforward. I think also like watching the videos too, like I learned like a lot, like the videos were straightforward, but like also like sometimes in the videos, like there's someone explaining it and I can't, like it's a pre-recorded video, so I can't be like, oh, explain that. So I just go through even like how you're scrolling through like like the words, like how it was typed out, like you can go through and read that. And that's what really like helped me understand. Instead of just watching the video, I also have that to rely on as well.
Oh, so you're saying that the combination of a video plus reading the text underneath it, and when you get stuck,
and the ZFire bot, or anything I still don't understand.
guys, this sounds like it is fire.
Yep.
That's what we've delivered. Because people learn differently, right, Jordan? They some people learn with audio and video, and other people, they want to learn by reading and interacting. Yeah.
Yep. Nah.
And yeah, like let's just, I mean, you can see in here, there's just like a whole bunch of different lessons on, I mean, in this section down here, like, yeah, you don't get access to this at the free level. Sorry, guys, we can go back and have a look at that if you like, but this is down here in the Web3 tools, and you can start to see like how to, like this one here, how to make consistent returns. Like what are liquidity pools? That was the one above that. And so there's just different lessons in here that walk you through, and you click on this. Oh, there you go. That one didn't work. I'm going to have to fix that one. We're still, this is obviously it's a new platform, everybody. And so I've been busily building it every day. Here we go. Like, look at that one. You can click here, but if we go back up to the top, and some of these stuff, like what Jordan's saying, is even, it's so new for people. Like if we go into like some of the definitions, I'm just going to have a look and see what's going to be. Yeah, look at this one. Let's go into DeFi yield, because a lot of people might not even know, well, what even is DeFi. And when we go in here, so this is going to be a little bit advanced. So we're going to jump around a little bit. I'm just going to play a little bit of this one here. And actually there's this one here, the liquidity pools explained. Let's just kick that one off at the beginning, and then I'll jump into another one.
So what are liquidity pools? How do they work? And why do we even need them in decentralized finance? Also, what are the differences between liquidity pools across different protocols, such as Uniswap, Balancer, or Curve? We'll be going through all of this in this video. Before we start, if you're new to DeFi, you may want to watch my introduction to decentralized finance video first. Also, you may want to subscribe to this channel for more DeFi-related content. Alright, so let's talk about liquidity pools. Liquidity pools, in essence, are pools of tokens that are locked in a smart contract. They are used to facilitate trading by providing liquidity and are extensively used by some of the decentralized exchanges.
Let's just pause it there. And when you're saying they provide liquidity, you see all markets need liquidity. And that it's a fancy word. Like they kind of like, have you noticed like in finance, a lot of the words are overly complex. And so liquidity really just means the money that's put behind a tradable asset. And without that money as the backing, people can't buy and sell. They need a liquidity pool. They need a funding pool there for people to be able to buy and sell. They place buy and sell orders. And that's how trading of Bitcoin works. So because it needs the backing of the liquidity pool, as in like, it's like a preset. It's like before you can, imagine if that wasn't there. If there was no liquidity pool and people wanted to come in and start trading, there's no money in there at the beginning, right? So people, if they want to come in and they want to buy and sell, there needs to be at least some money in there. And that initiates, so then somebody else puts a bit of money in there and they say, I want to buy some. But because they don't know each other, this is the power of decentralized finance. We don't need to know each other. It's called trustless. I know we're getting a bit technical here, but it's an interesting idea. We don't have to have the trust between each other because it's encoded on the platform. And whoever has the money calls the shots. You know what I mean? So if you are the one putting in the liquidity, you make a small clip on every transaction that goes through that liquidity pool on the exchange. Jordan, what are your thoughts on this? Is it making sense, or where are you at with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's making perfect sense. Like I said, I went through these lessons earlier and I used all the, like I said, the video, the word, like the readings under it, and the ZFire bot, so it explained it to me well. So, but based on what you just said, it makes perfect sense to me. I know the word liquidity, like when I first started off with like trading and crypto, liquidity was a word that was, like you said, very complex. I'm like, what does that mean? But you kind of explained it in simpler terms. So
I'm just going to use the ZFire bot here. I'm going to say, explain liquidity to me like I was 5 years old. That's a common strategy that people use when dealing with AI. If they want to have something really spelled out, super simple. So let's just punch that in real time and see how the ZFire bot goes about answering this. And it's thinking, it's like going, okay, understand liquidity in simple terms. What is liquidity in finance? Look at this. Liquidity refers to how easily assets can be bought and sold in a market without causing significant changes to their price. In simpler terms, it means how quickly you can convert something like a stock or cryptocurrency into cash. That's basically one of the, would you say, Jordan? Was that one of the?
what was that?
Would you say that's one of the simplest ways to explain like how to convert it into cash? Yep.
Like when I asked it, I forgot there was a word, but I told it to explain it to me like I was a beginner in like crypto, and it did the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So guys, the other thing is like today is a bit of a special day, especially in the States, in the US. It's the 15th of April today. And Jordan, what's that date all about? Where's people with that?
The tax date?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Do you think people might have been stressing about that today?
For sure. For sure.
Maybe even millions of people, yeah?
Millions.
So, like, here's I just jumped in. We've got a whole section in here all about the economy. And there's actually money in economics. And you can see I've built out a whole lot of lessons. And this one is, let's have a look at this. The infinite money glitch. This looks like it's just a 4-minute video. Let's see what happens with this one. Okay, Jordan?
What if I told you that the entire modern financial system functioned on an infinite money glitch where billions, no, trillions of dollars were created out of thin air day after day, and at any point the whole system could collapse? Oh, you wouldn't be surprised? Oh, then I guess let's just end the video here. Wait. But what I just said was the truth, and it's something called fractional reserve banking, otherwise known as the infinite money glitch. Here's how it works. When someone deposits $1,000 in the bank does not hold on to all of that money. Rather, the bank will just keep 10%, $100 as reserves, and then loan out the rest, or $900 to other people or companies, charging interest on the loan, making additional money for the bank. The lendee, or the person that took out the $900 loan, then goes on to spend that money. To simplify the scenario, we'll say that that person with the $900 loan immediately paid someone else that $900. At this point, when looking at this small financial system, there's a total of $1,900 in circulation, but the bank only has $100 in reserves. But here's where the endless money glitch occurs. The person that was paid the $900 then goes to deposit the $900 in the bank again, starting the process all over. The bank would keep 10% or $90 and then loan out the remaining $810. Then the person with the $810 loan would pay someone else, who then deposits that money in the bank, and the bank then keeps another 10%, loans out the rest, and the cycle continues. This cycle of monetary multiplication is called the monetary multiplier effect, or the infinite money glitch. In this example, $1,000 in initial capital can be transformed into $10,000 in the economy, all from nothing. $9,000 created out of thin air. Add a few zeros to those numbers, and you can start to understand how much money in an economy can simply be created through fractional reserve banking. This infinite money glitch occurs because banks only have to retain a certain percentage of deposit due to liquidity requirements. The rest of the money they can go out and make money with through lending. In practice, the system of fractional reserves can create an infinite money glitch if lending and borrowing becomes irresponsible and pervasive enough throughout the society.
There we go, guys. Interesting, right, Jordan?
Very interesting.
So we've got a whole bunch of stuff in here just to help people start to understand how the economy, because I don't think people, were you ever taught that at school, Jordan, about how the banking system works like that?
Not at all.
What does that make you think? And how do you feel when you realize that the banking system can just invent as much money as they like from people borrowing money?
It's just crazy. Like, even hearing the word infinite money glitch is like crazy. Like, they could just print money whenever they want and still like make people pay them anyways, even though they can make as much money as they want and print whenever they want. So it's just kind of like, wow. Like,
yeah, I've put in pretty much about almost 80 lessons just on the economy and how money works in here. And you get that at the $7 level of CFIRE, Jordan. What do you think?
I think that's worth $7.
It's probably worth a lot more than that, right?
Yes.
I mean, inside the same section, look at this. I've even got some lessons. These are just these are just like 5 minutes, like tax havens. Did you know that tax havens exist in the world, Jordan?
What exactly is a tax haven?
Whoa. Let's find out. Look at this. Here's a lesson on it. Remember, this is in the $7 level.
Over recent years, people have become increasingly annoyed with organizations and public figures taking advantage of tax havens. The use of tax havens allows people and companies to pay lower rates of tax than they would in their native countries. And this isn't a small issue. £5.3 trillion, or about 8% of the world's wealth, is estimated to be stored in offshore tax havens. Moody's estimates that the giant US tech companies alone kept £1.4 trillion offshore at the end of 2016. The Tax Justice Network estimates that corporate and personal tax avoidance costs the world's governments $700 billion a year in losses.
So that's where companies and essentially rich individuals get to structure themselves in different countries around the world.
Right.
What do you think of that, Jordan?
I think that's very and that's very interesting. Something I would learn. I think that's something a lot of people have learned to kind of, like you said, structure yourself so you don't have to pay as much or lower your rate. So that's what I think.
Because we're not definitely, I mean, in CFIRE, there's no financial advice, everybody. It's an educational platform. And we are very pro you paying exactly what you should do for your tax, but not a cent more. It's actually legal to have your taxes be just in line with the law and reduced to the level that you just need to pay. Would you agree, Jordan?
Yes, I agree 100%.
Yeah. But with that being the case, it's curious. I mean, this is just educational. This is like purely entertainment. And you can see in here how there are places in the world where people go and live. I'm just sharing the information. They go and live, and because today's tax day, they let's have a little listen to this.
Crypto is a sector that has divided world governments, with some, such as China, doing everything in their reach to scare people away from it. At the same time, some countries have decided to embrace this new technology. Crypto regulations are seen as a good thing because it means world leaders are paying attention to the sector. Today we'll talk about some of the countries that are considered to be crypto-friendly. One of the hottest topics to debate in 2021 was the adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender in El Salvador, making it the first country in the world to do so.
Did you know that, Jordan, that one of the countries in the world literally just made Bitcoin the main currency of the country? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
El Salvador. They did that in 2021. That's all they just said. They made Bitcoin the main currency of the whole country in El Salvador.
That just goes to show how powerful Bitcoin is.
And they started mining it with energy reactors connected to volcanoes. And I'm not kidding.
That's crazy.
Man, I mean, I've got a friend who lives in Colombia, which is one of the smaller countries, or it's the biggest country in South America. And because you can actually generate power, like you might know, like a lot of power generating systems in the world, they come from, nuclear reactors, but also hydro, like big dams and even volcanoes. And I've got a friend who lives there and he's bought himself a valley. And yeah, he's a crypto multimillionaire. He's bought himself a whole valley with Bitcoin.
Really?
It's got 4 waterfalls on it. He owns 4 waterfalls.
That's nice.
And he's going to set up Bitcoin mining facilities that generate energy under each waterfall. So the Bitcoin helped him buy it, and he's going to make new Bitcoin.
Bitcoin mining. Wow.
Is that right?
That's smart.
The government offered each and every citizen who had a crypto wallet $30, the equivalent for 3 days of work.
Hang on. So did you hear that? Like this country, El Salvador, they gave all their citizens an easy way to set up a Bitcoin wallet for free and gave them all $30 of Bitcoin in 2021. Everybody in the country.
Furthermore, the president of the country announced the building of Bitcoin City, the first city in the world focused solely on this technology, where there will be no taxes, making it the dream place for investors and merchants. The city is planned to be built at the base of the Concagua volcano, thus helping power the city. How cool is that? Another sunny place that lets you stay clear of taxes is Portugal. Individuals making a profit from crypto don't have to pay any income tax in this country. This makes it ideal for those making monthly income, especially traders. And
Well, I think it's getting a bit too much hot to handle. Would you agree here, Jordan?
Yeah.
Like, guys, this is just educational purposes only. And there are lots of different countries in the world. And if you wanted to come in here on your own time and privately start doing what Jordan is doing, going through these lessons. Jordan, is that what you've been doing? Wrapping your head around how all this stuff works?
Yup. Just whenever I have like some free time or whatever, or I'm done doing whatever, I get on CFIRE and just kind of go through the lessons and try to learn as much as I can.
Yeah.
Take everything step by step is a lot. So trying to kind of go in order so everything aligns.
Would you say the order is quite a systematic, well thought out
Yeah.
plan?
It's very simple and easy.
Great. That's what we want to hear, guys. So, people on the call, it's been a bit of an interesting session today, discussing how, because, given the nature of today, I thought we'd celebrate it by talking a bit about taxes. And maybe even just let's have a little listen to this video here about the 7 crypto investment strategies.
worry, most of us have been through it. If you're a crypto beginner and you don't have an investment strategy, well, good, you've come to the right place. In today's video, we'll talk about what works if you want to actually make a profit. First of all, remember the old saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Investing all your money in one meme coin is clearly not a good idea. The risk is real, especially in the case of high-risk, high-reward projects where volatility is so big that you can lose your money in the blink of an eye. The best advice we can give is to always have a well-balanced portfolio with an appropriate number of cryptocurrencies. Try not to have too little of them, but too many are not good either. Avoid investing in projects that have the same utility and make sure to read and understand what each of them is doing, their purpose. A golden rule is not investing all your money at once. Maybe you've heard of DCA before, but if you didn't, you can check out this video. We went into more detail there. Basically, try to make a habit out of investing small amounts regularly, regardless if you do it once a month or once a week. The important thing is to stay consistent. This way, you won't be keeping track of price trends every minute or stress out. You won't risk all your money, and you learn healthy habits for investing. To better understand it, know that I tend to invest 20% of my monthly income in crypto, but I don't use the entire amount all at once. I invest 5% in multiple projects weekly. If I am to lose, I'll lose less, because this way I'll decrease my chances of buying all my digital assets at the all-time high price. We don't want to risk losing you either, so go ahead, hit that like button or subscribe to the channel, and we'll make sure to provide you with even more useful information. Sometimes you can win more by not really doing anything with your investments. The best example of this is holding, or hodl, as it is called in the world of crypto. Although it may sound simple, not doing anything with your asset is hard, especially during a bear market, when your portfolio can lose half of its value in a second. Think about the ones who invested in Bitcoin at the beginning. They purchased it for $1, $10, $100, or $1,000, and became rich by simply holding it for a long time. Those people were patient and made a huge profit when they decided to sell. So remember, at least from time to time, to take some profit from your investment, especially during bull markets. One way you can do this is by applying this rule: buy low, sell high. If you felt left behind the last time Bitcoin reached an all-time high, don't worry. You've seen what happened after. Tears fell as the price went down. This is why you should never buy coins when their prices are up. Instead, be patient and wait for the market to settle in. We can assure you it always does. Even if it seems difficult to invest when the price is down and everyone is discouraged, try not to be influenced by anything, and do it because that right there is your opportunity to double or triple your gains. Don't forget, what goes up must come down. When it all goes down, it's important to have the necessary liquidity to buy the dip right then and there. Our recommendation is to always keep at least 25% of your portfolio in stablecoins, even 40 to 50% during uneasy times. This way, it's easier to make purchases whenever you want and take advantage of the low rates. By the way, you can also make money through stablecoins, and you can enjoy a pretty nice interest rate if you stake them on exchanges or DeFi platforms. You're basically locking them there, and they act as deposits. We have a video explaining what stablecoins are and how you can use them to gain a profit, so just click on the link. Still, you may not have the time to learn about projects or study to develop investment strategies. No problem, we have a solution.
So, guys, you can even hear in here, like there are multiple strategies that you can start employing for your crypto, even with stable coins. And that's some of the stuff that Jordan's been researching today and going through about liquidity pools, passive income, and how you can hold actually stable coins, which means that they're pegged to the dollar and they can sit in your wallet. Did you know that you can even hold gold-backed cryptocurrencies? Did you know that, Jordan? Cryptos is backed up by gold?
I did not know that.
Did you know that at the beginning of last year, gold was $2,000 an ounce? Do you know what it's worth right now per ounce, Jordan?
Low battery. Please recharge headset.
But I'm ready to know.
Well, it's almost $3,300 per ounce.
Wow.
And like, so
2,000? You said it was 2,000 last year?
yeah, so it's gone up by over 50%. And so gold is like one of the, I mean, I've basically got, this is one of my, you can see this, one of my 1 ounce gold coins here. Yeah. So CFIRE, CryptoIsFIRE is, yep. Somebody, maybe they can go mute, please. So we have, we're not just about purely just only owning Bitcoin or Ethereum. There's incredible strategies for you to have for holding stable coins and generating yield from them, passive income, and even holding gold-backed coins, where you could even, basically they work like, they peg to the price of gold, just like the US dollar is the stable coins of USDT Tether or USDC. They're pegged to the dollar. And you could even buy 50 cents of them if you want, but most people buy, they're just $1. The same as a Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like, it's like over $80,000. And you don't have to buy one Bitcoin. Remember, always keep that in mind. You can even buy 0.0001. You can buy $100 of Bitcoin. And you can even buy $100 of gold. And you can keep all of that as crypto in your wallet. Jordan,
Low battery. Please recharge.
Jordan, what do you think of that?
It's very interesting. It's strong. I mean, I did not know like how it was backed up behind gold and how gold multiplied over 50% of what it was last year. Nah, it's crazy. Just goes to show like how this crypto and all this really works and all the money that's in it.
And what would you say if very soon you had access to a digital wallet that was connected to a bank account and a debit card that you could just move money out of your existing bank account easily into the e-wallet and the bank account and be able to spend it and basically switch into crypto or dollars or even gold whenever you wanted?
That would be awesome. Cause I know sometimes like having crypto in certain wallets and like you try to transfer it somewhere, it takes a minute, or even like from your bank, like you have to wait. So like just being able to do it quick and just use whenever I want to would be great. And I think a lot of people would like that.
Yeah. Well, we've got that in the works and we're releasing that very soon from CFire.
Okay, I'm ready for that.
That's cool, man. Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff in the works. And and on Thursday, we go deeper into the DeFi, into that passive income. That's what Thursday night sessions are about when I go through that. And because the lessons here, we're just kind of showing you an overview, but we're not showing you exactly the steps and where to go to start specifically earning the yield. And there are even higher levels. Like if you go back to the homepage, you saw the different levels. That's from the $1,500 level of CFire, which we recommend that you join if you want to learn how to make passive income. And you could upgrade to the Meteor, which is $3,555, or even the Supernova. We keep it the Supernova, which is admittedly, it's over $7,000. It's not for everybody.
Right.
But if you like the sound of those really interesting different kinds of strategies, some of the ones we saw tonight, we're just purely an educational platform, no financial advice. But whatever you can imagine, let me ask you this, Jordan, would you say it's true now? Whatever you can imagine that you want to create with your life, even with finances, you could find out how to do it, exactly the steps in CFire. Jordan, what do you think?
I believe so. I believe I could find exactly like the things I need to know in CFire.
And how can you personalize it for your situation?
Say that one more time.
How do you personalize it when you're learning? How do you personalize it for your exact situation in the back end of CFire?
I mean, first of all, like even today, like obviously with the path, like I want to learn different strategies with crypto. Like obviously, like we just watched a video on like the different trading strategies and things like that. So everyone has their own. Like if someone's into crypto, like there's different ways to make money using crypto. Like say for example, like I was talking about liquidity pools. Like I want to know how to do that. So obviously I'm going to pay more attention to that lesson. So it just depends on what you want to do with it.
Exactly. So what Jordan's saying there is he just pops open this little chat bot, the CFire AI brain, that you can personalize any lesson for yourself just down here. So that's available to you, all of you, all the time. Hey, we're going to I've got somebody put their hand up, I think. Is that true? Did James put his hand up? Does he want to ask a question? Or does anybody else even want to ask a question or make a point tonight? Does anybody else have any questions? Love some feedback. Maybe.
Yeah, I just love the education. I mean, I know we're not really live and promoting heavy yet, but I'm telling you, once the word gets out about what we really have, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. So thank you so much. That's all I want to say.
Awesome. Thanks, James. That's awesome. Anybody else before we wrap up tonight? Like I see we've got Chris in the house and we have Jane or Joe. Thanks for joining us and others as well. If you have any questions before we wrap up this evening.
Don't really have a question, but as I always say, this platform is awesome. I've gotten pretty far into the education part of it, but even before that, just earning the passive and learning about the DeFi and learning everything that I've learned with you over the last year. Guys, you guys need to jump in as fast as you can because the education is there. It's simple. It's ready for the taking. And like Barnaby said, you can start for free and work your way up. It is worth it in so many ways.
Low battery. Please recharge headset.
Or we've had somebody on the call who's they've been needing to recharge their headset. But actually I'll just show you over here. Let's go in because we do actually have inside the tools over here. I was just going to show you the DeFi calculator and how that functions. Maybe is it here? I think here we go. It's on the top section. Welcome to CFire. the passive income calculator. Let's just click on that. And you can see how this works. Just opening the calculator. Passive income calculator. Here we go. Here it is. So scrolling down, there's a bunch of material in here about this, because one of the main DeFi systems that you learn is offering over 0.3. That's over 30% per day. And this just shows you how across a period of time, in this example, like 2 years, 24 months. So what we have with CFIRE is it's not a get rich quick plan. It's not. It's step-by-step systems. And even if you started with, in this example, $2,000, maybe you've got more than that. Maybe you've got less. And there's no financial advice here, but you can just see when you click in this welcome and you go down to the passive income calculator, you can make a plan for yourself. And we walk through exactly how you do that on the Thursday nights. But this is showing you how it has over 500% ROI. That stands for return on investment. And you're going to learn more about that. You can just start asking the ZFIRE bot, like how does ROI work, if you didn't already know. But this shows you how to generate, within 2 years, over $100 daily passive income. And you can play with those figures. You can increase them. And if you had more than that, it obviously starts to get pretty crazy. That's within a 2-year period. And so I think, Jordan, you must have been playing, you must have seen that before on the system?
Yes, sir.
Would you say that's, how's that affecting you when you think about your future?
Makes me think my future is bright because, like we were saying earlier, like all the education and the things within CFIRE is very powerful. And like I'm young, so I'm starting off early, and I'm really locked in and getting to understand it. So by the time the next few years, like I'm just, I make money and put something here, and it, like you said, it just keeps going and going and making me more money. So I mean, can't really ask for much more than that, right?
Fantastic. Well, I think we've had a good session tonight. Jordan, would you agree? Has this been a good overview for people?
Yes, sir.
I think we've taught some people a few new things for this training session this evening. Yeah, awesome, guys. Thanks for being with us, and make sure you join up if you haven't already for the Thursday, and we'll dive deeper into DeFi. And everybody have a great week. Thanks, Jordan, for being here tonight. It's been a real pleasure.
You too, Barnaby.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Bye.